Hi, my name is Bailey Jordan, technical agronomist for Southeast Kansas, Southwest Missouri, and Oklahoma. I'm standing in a soybean field here today, and I'm doing some growth staging in this field, and so that is what I wanted to go over with you guys today, is growth staging and talking about some development in soybeans. So I have this plant right here. It is a indeterminate variety, meaning that this plant will continue to put on new trifoliates and bloom to the beginning seed stage, approximately. So you can see right here, we are putting on new growth, and this is what I mean by a new trifoliate. It's still contained right there, but will open up and look like this trifoliate or this trifoliate eventually. So we'll go through some of the growth stages and talk about what it means for the plant to be doing when we reach that growth stage. So for example, when we start into our growth stages in the reproductive phase, we start with R1, meaning that there is a bloom on any of the nodes on the main stem. So you can see there's blooms all the way up the nodes here on the main stem of this particular plant. So we know that we are have at least reached the R1 growth stage. Then we transitioned to the R2 growth stage, and that means that there are blooms on any of the two upper main nodes, so these nodes right here, with a fully developed leaf. So this one might be just a little bit shy, but getting really close to fully developed. This would be a fully developed leaf. And that means that you're in the R2 growth stage. And then we transitioned to the R3 growth stage, and that is beginning pod. And that means that there is a pod about 3/16 of an inch in size on the upper four nodes of the plant, so any one of these. And if you look at these, we're blooming and we're getting close, but we're not quite there. There's some blooms here that are senescing, but we don't have any pods yet. So I think it's safe to say that we are in full bloom, which is R2 growth stage with this particular plant. If we had a plant that had pods on the upper foremost nodes that was 3/4 of an inch long, then we would be in the R4 growth stage. And then from there, we would go into R5, and that would be beginning seed in soybean plants. So I'll probably, as this field or other soybean fields that I'm in transition into beginning seed, I'll do a part 2 and demonstrate how you tell those growth stages as you enter beginning seed. So with soybeans, you have your beginning bloom when you start your reproductive stages. You go into pod development, seed development, and then maturity. And that really wraps up soybean development in the reproductive stages, and the plants will senesce once they've been through all those stages, and then you'll be progressing towards harvest time. Soybeans can be a little more or less all over the place in terms of growth stages, and so that's why when we're growth staging soybeans, we say that if 50% of the plants approximately are in that growth stage, then we can go ahead and growth stage that field at whatever 50% or greater of those plants are at that particular time. And that is when a new growth stage is determined. So I think it's safe to say this plant in this particular field, I've kind of walked out and scouted around, and a lot of these plants are at the R2 growth stage, and so that's what I'm going to call this field I'm standing in today. So thanks for joining me on growth staging and talking a little bit about development with soybeans. Like I said, we'll probably have a part 2 when we talk about pod development and then beginning seed. So thanks for joining me in the field today.